What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. It is Monday, September 6th. So, you know what it is, guys. This is the first Monday of September. So, we're excited about it. I'm excited because, I talked about it before. These are my favorite months. I love fall. So, this is my season right now. As you see, I'm repping the hoodie sweater. Just like to send a big shout out to Get Dripped because Get Dripped always has me looking fly. What's going on? Yeah, I'm really excited. It's September. We got a lot going on for the month of September, so make sure you guys check the link in the bio. I am definitely excited about our Mindset 101 course coming up again. Mindset 101 is starting actually next Wednesday, so make sure that you guys click the link in the bio. If you're interested in the course, register for it. If you're looking for more information on it, just let me know and I'll make sure that I hook you guys up with that information that you're looking for. But it's a mindset course. It's based on the book Figure It Out. So if you don't have yourself a copy of the book, you could always click the link in my bio as well and get yourself a copy. It's on Amazon. If you're looking for like a signed copy, I definitely can get that for you guys as well. Yeah, so I'm really, really excited. Shout out to the Queen Hustle who is in the building. Very, very just like to congratulate you, girl. It was such a great event you put on Saturday. It was fabulous. Love to see so many different vendors coming through to, just do their thing. There were so many great vendors there and you put on a great show. So it was awesome. I'm sad I wasn't able to see it all because I know you had guest speakers. I seen the lives that you did and I seen a couple of videos, but I didn't actually get to see it myself. So yeah, I missed it live, but it was still really, really good. I have a lot of things going on for the month of September, so I'm excited. I'm just going to let you guys know as the information trickles in what we have going on for this month, but we're really pumped and ready to get everything started for this month of September. And as I mentioned to you, we're going to be doing a lot of different things, so I'm excited about it. But without further ado, I would like to introduce our for the interview for today. I'm I'm ready to jump into it, guys. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I am good. So how's everything going? How was your weekend? Oh, I don't know what happened there. I think you just popped out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened. Let's see. Let me see if I could request him back again. I don't know. Oh,
My,
there. I don't know what happened there.
that, that was me. My fault.
Okay. So how's everything going? How's your weekend and stuff?
Everything was pretty good. My best friend got married over the weekend, so uh,
Nice.
I enjoyed going to that. And it's been pretty chill after that. So
That's cool. Where are you from?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Okay, Buffalo, New York. Not far. We're from Toronto out here.
Oh, okay. So we yeah.
1-6.
I,
Yes, we're neighbors. So please introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are. Tell them a bit about yourself.
um. So my name is Tariq Ansari, and a lot of people have been they call me, I guess, motivational coach or life coach or something like that. I've been an educator for even though I'm not old, I'm only 37, but I've been an educator for over 10 years, close to 15 years since college. So I kind of took a lot of the experiences I had with educating and wanting to teach those things that they don't really teach in school so much. So that's kind of how I got into what I'm doing now. With even though I still teach, but I do things outside. I have a nonprofit organization, Solid Foundation Prep, and and I started making videos and whatnot, trying to help people out as much as I can.
Yes, I see that. I seen your videos online. That's what I was like, oh, these are very interesting. And then when I started like, checking them all out, I was like, this is some pretty good content. So, like, how did you get started putting those videos out?
Um, like at first, like I was kind of nervous to do it. Like I never put a video out, but I used to make Facebook posts, but they would be like every morning I would make a Facebook post. and people, they liked the post that I was doing, but my post would be really short, maybe a sentence or two, and I always felt like I had more to say. So I felt like, okay, well, maybe I can get a little deeper into what I'm posting by, making a video, a short video. I didn't want to make anything that was over, that was too long. So my videos were short, 30 seconds to a minute. Just trying to get a message across. And it would always be something that I was feeling or something that I observed or something that I experienced that I got through and wanted to like kind of share those tips that I learned, things that I learned along the way with other people, and try to relate it to other people. Just knowing that because if I can get through it, then other people can get through it, or if I can learn something, then other people can learn. So I wanted to do that, and that's what got me started with the videos. Just wanting to help people, just wanting to share my experiences, and also to elaborate on the messages I was giving out, things that get me going in the day.
Right. And so you said you're a teacher. What type of like what do you teach?
So I mean, I've taught everything from grammar school all the way up to like I teach adult classes now. I teach high school equivalency classes. So I get a lot of people. I get adults. I get kids that have dropped out. I get kids that are in their early 20s and trying to get them on track by helping them get their high school diploma and then getting them off to college. So that's what I'm teaching now. But I used to teach grammar school. I used to teach middle school. Done some high school. I've done mentoring for high school programs. Done mentoring in grammar school programs. So, and I've also done stuff outside of schools. Being a program manager, I put in programs inside the schools also. So I've like as far as education, I've been all across the board. I know the inside and the outside. So
That's good. That's good. And then you have a non-for-profit you're mentioning too,
yeah,
right?
solid foundation prep. So my brother and I started that a few years ago. Uh, we saw that it was a bunch of talented basketball players in the city, and what alarmed us was the fact that none of them were going to college, as opposed to in the 90s in the city, in early 2000s, we had was consistent people going to college, especially getting scholarships. And we were sitting there wondering, okay, like what are they missing that's wasn't there before? So that's when we decided, okay, well, they're missing a lot of the social skills. They're missing a lot of the things that help them make it. They have the talent and the ability. That's one half of it, but they're missing the other half. So what
Right.
we decided to do was we made a nonprofit that was kind of geared. We kind of geared it around sports, but we knew education was the actual basis of it. So we kind of used sports kind of like a hook to bring people in. And
Mhm.
as we did that, we've been able to expand and do more of the things that we wanted to do as far as mentoring and working in other schools and working with kids that have nothing to do with sports. So um, that was a whole, I would say, the motivation behind that. Just trying to get people on the kids in the right track, getting with them early because they're missing a lot now.
So when did you guys start that?
I want to say 2016 we started that. So we were going at a pretty advanced pace. So based on the people where people were predicting where we'd be at, where we started, we exceeded that. But COVID kind of slowed us down, so we're gearing back. We're gearing back up. So we were just able to do our camp again this summer, and the school year we're hopefully getting back into the school. So
Okay, that's awesome. That's good stuff. Um, so talk to us about like these messages and the importance of the work that you guys are doing. What does it mean to you?
oh, it means a lot. The messages, one thing I always wanted to do with my messages, I never wanted to. How some people get on Instagram where they do stuff and they sound like they kind of know it all, and then they're messaging like they come off like they're perfect, and I didn't want to do that. So all the messages I wanted to do are based on things that I went through. So it's like I've been through certain situations where I've looked at things wrong or I've done things wrong and I've learned from it. So before people go through it, I'm saying, okay, you might want to look at this, you might want to try that. Or I've seen people or been around people that have experienced certain things and I know the mistakes that they made. So I try to, share those things to try to help people avoid them. And, I've gotten a lot of positive response. I didn't know when I first started, I didn't know how well it would go. At first I was like, I would just think I'm just going to put it out there. I wasn't really looking to get to a level or a certain point. But then once people started messaging me and people started making comments and talking about how it helped, I felt like I needed to keep going. So um, I've been trying to do it as much as possible. But the thing is with my process is I don't really post videos unless I'm feeling something. So
I see.
like just so when I actually really feel some type of something that needs to be said or feeling some type of situation, that's when I go. When I'm most motivated, that's when I put out a video. It's hard for me to post a video just cause. Like I want to have a feeling. So I think that's a lot of reason why a lot of people relate to it when they see my videos. They actually feel it. They it's like, oh, I understand where you're coming from. So
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty powerful. I mean, I was listening to just a couple, like just one just happened. You're just scrolling, and I seen one, and then the video resonated with me, and then I popped on your page, and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of good content here. Like I like what you're saying, so definitely.
I appreciate.
What are the types of responses? Oh, no problem. What are some of the types of responses people are talking to you and telling you about the videos?
I mean, they're mostly positive. Like, oh, you help me here, or you help me out there, or that was a good point I never thought about. Um, you know, let's see, like you get some people, occasionally you'll get some people that will hit me in the DMs or they want a little bit more in depth conversation, or they try to, okay, well, what if this happens? And they get into a different conversation, but the response has been pretty positive. So it's been to the point where I feel like I might have to expand and take another step and make longer videos or do a podcast on a certain topic that can go a little bit longer so people can get even more. Because even my videos, like I felt like people wouldn't watch them that long. So like, oh, I'll try to bunch a lot into a minute. But now that I know that people actually will listen, and I've had people say, you should make your videos longer. I think the next step for me would actually, make longer videos and podcasts, stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking into next.
Yeah, that would be a great idea because they're short, they're sweet to the point, but it's like, yeah, you could put some more in there because we would listen for sure.
And if I do that, I know that I can actually the experience I actually tell that story. So and I think that would help people too because people relate to stories. So they
Right,
like feeling like, okay, I wasn't the one that went through this or whatever. So
right.
I think that's the next step. And people feel like I should do it, and I'll start knocking it out.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one about healthy habits and creating good habits
Mhm.
and how they're so important to us. Can you talk a little bit about creating healthy habits and how we can actually make sure that we're like implementing them in our lives properly on a long-term basis?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Healthy habits, like it's things that I still work on like a lot, but we focus a lot on our bad habits. So what I mean by that is like we'll wake up and we know it's things that we shouldn't be doing, and we'll spend our day focusing on, okay, I'm not going to do this today. I'm not going to curse today. I'm not going to eat this today. I'm not going to do this. And it's like to me that's kind of negative. It's like a mindset. You're focusing on things that you don't want to do. And when I in positive good habits, I think we should focus on more because now it's like, okay, instead of saying I'm not doing this today, be like, okay, I'm doing it. Like I'm making sure that I work out today. I'm making sure that I write down my list of goals for the day. I make sure I accomplish my goals for a day. I'm starting this habit, like things that I want to do that I know makes me better. Um, and it's like once you get into the habit of that, it becomes like a lifestyle, and you start doing it without thinking too much, and it just becomes second nature. Bad habits, I think, is a little harder to do because you start focusing on those things, and it becomes harder to control because it's like, let's just say, like, you want to stop cursing, and it's like
Mhm.
you start thinking every time you start talking, it's like, oh, I curse. Oh, you curse again. You know what I mean? And it's just like you could have been like, you change that, saying like, you know what, I'm going to say more positive things today, and now you're focusing on saying that. You're not trying to, um I would say, like, control your speech as much, like saying, okay, I'm focused on saying positive things, and those type of things. I think that energy adds up. And I think that energy is what helps people develop those good habits. Actually saying, like, okay, I'm going to do these good things today. I'm going to add these good things today instead of focusing on things I want to get rid of, because those good things will get rid of those things naturally. So that worked for me. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way of thinking about it because naturally we think about what's wrong, right? Naturally, we're always like, "Man, I do this." You know what I mean? So it would be a good way to try to eliminate that negative thought and start focusing on what you want to do, what you should be doing instead of what's not right.
right. So the one thing that I do, that I started doing every day, that helped me out a lot, is actually writing down what I want. So you just wake up and you just try to go on about your business, or you focusing on a bunch of negative stuff without a plan, really, it gets hard. It gets hard. So once I started actually writing things down, it became easier. It became easier for me to focus on the good things. So I would write down a list. Like, I would, like, Sunday night, Sunday evening, I would write down a bunch of things I want to accomplish during the week, and then, like that, I would set my goals to that, and then every day, I would have my list of things to do, but then, like, what am I working on that's towards my goals? So I'm not focusing on a bunch of stuff that I don't want to do. I'm not focusing on things that I'm trying to just eliminate. I'm focusing on things I'm trying to build with, things that I want to accomplish, things that help me feel like, once you, like, it feels good once you do something that you set out to do.
Yeah.
That energy just goes up. So you're not even thinking about things that you're not doing because you focus on the things that you're trying to get done. So that's what worked for me. I'm pretty sure it's other ways, but that's what's worked for me the most. That's been the most effective for me.
I see. I see. So what is your why? Like when somebody would ask you, like, why are you doing this? Like, what is the purpose of all this? What would you say?
Um, my biggest why would be because I feel like I'm not one to, as an educator, you share knowledge. So I never felt like, okay, once I learned something, it's like, what good is it to just keep it locked up? You know what I mean? What good is it to just not share that experience? Because you see people go through the same thing. Like, it would bother me to look at somebody going down the same path and not warn them of the mistakes that might come with that. And I don't think I'll be fulfilling my duties as a good person to allow people to do those things. So sharing my experiences, sharing other people's experiences, sharing things that work with me and help me, um, I just feel like it's like a duty to do that. Like, once you've obtained some type of knowledge, I think it's a duty to share it.
Mhm. And then, like, how do you stay focused? How do you stay focused on all of the things that you got going on? Because you got a lot going on. You're a teacher, you're out here doing this non for profit. Like, so how do you stay committed?
Being organized, that's one thing. Like, I learned that from my parents and my aunt. My aunt is one of the most organized people I've ever seen. So she, like, she has, we talk about schedules, everything down, and then I couldn't knock her tactics because of how successful she's been. She's retired now, but she's been president of colleges. She's been the president of all the colleges in the United States. So her tag, like I learned a lot from her as far as far as that, just being organized and it helps you accomplish a lot because you can time things, you can actually know what you dedicate your time to, you know what you need to, what you can put off, what you can't put off, you know how to prioritize things, and that's how you can keep a busy schedule but still accomplish a lot. You know, you might not accomplish everything that you write down on your list, but you can accomplish the majority of it if you schedule things right, if you time yourself right, or you stay with that carrot out in front, like okay, I need to get these things done today. So that was the biggest thing for me to help me accomplish with so much going on. Like she's helped me out a lot. My father's the same way, but not to the level that she's on. So
Okay. Yeah, it's important to make notes. So do you have like an agenda, or do you like put it out on a big board? Like, what do you do?
it's it's kind of, you might call me crazy, my process, but so don't write stuff down as far as what I'm going to say. So my topic will come, like it'll come to me, like in the shower, or I'll see something, I'll watch something, or I might get triggered by something that happened in the past,
Right.
and that okay, like boom, that's a good topic. And once I get that topic, I'll start rehearsing what I'm going to say. Like I wouldn't write it down; I'll be rehearsing it to myself. So if you walked in while I was rehearsing, you might think I'm crazy because I'm sitting there talking. You know what I mean? And saying my like I'm saying my little video like out loud to myself. You know, but that like that's my process. Like I don't write it down so much. But if I know it might I might not put this video out for like another week or so. I do have a small notebook where I write down stuff I might want to add that I might forget later.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, something came to me, boom, I'll write that down. But as far as the actual video speech, like I just rehearse it out loud myself. And I might add a note here or there, just like remember this, and then I'll be able to do it. But you know, that's my crazy process.
Yes, definitely good advice. Definitely talk a lot too about self-confidence and building up self-confidence within oneself. Do you want to give us a couple of tips on that as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. Self confidence. The biggest thing that I learned with self confidence is stuff I call like your true nature. So once you're in tune to like your true nature, like who you really are, because you know when something like you know people that have they got into some type of trouble or whatever, and you're sitting there wondering like you know they don't seem like them. You know what I mean? And that's because they kind of got away from the true nature. So like the true nature is like who you really are, like who you are, who you were was as a kid before all these things started happening to you, everything like that. Like you was a good, you're a great person, you're a good person, you're a kind person, you know, you're a sharing person, you all these things. Like that's who you truly are. And I think that's the start of the confidence because what ends up happening is when we start adapting other cultures and we start adapting other things around us, those are like other identities. But I think the mistake is we start to lose confidence because we kind of put those identities in front of our true nature. And every time we do that, our identities, they always fail us. They always fail us when you put those in front of who you really are. If you have who you really are in front, then you can control those other identities that you're taking, all the things you're learning or whatever. You know, all the, like if you adapted a certain culture, you grew up in a certain culture, that's supposed to enhance who you truly are. If you have control of that, and if you have control of that, that's where your confidence comes in. But if you have all these other things in front of it, it's hard to stay confident because that's not you know that's not who you really are. You know that's not what you really do. You know that's not what you're really about, and you know that deep down, and it causes anxiety and it weighs on you. So, you start hanging with the wrong group of people, you're adapting that culture from them. You're adapting those identities from them, and now you're trying to change who you are for them. There's no way to feel confident with that because that's not you. So I would say the best thing to be confident is like being true to your natural self. Be true to who you really are, and know that. Don't run from it. Embrace it because you're good. I don't think anybody's born bad. I don't think anybody's born bad. I don't think anybody's born with ill will. I don't think anybody's born with a terrible nature behind. So
There's a lot of people, that have, in life gone down a road so far that they may not know how to get back to their true nature.
yeah.
You know,
hmm
what kind of advice would you give to that person who is trying to pedal back?
Um, what I would say to that person is first thing like you got to be honest with yourself because the thing is that the more they lie to themselves, the further away they're going to get. So until they become honest, I don't think there's anything that you can do to help that person until they become really honest. I've taught plenty of students. So, I especially when they're younger kids, because younger kids always get influenced by the crowd. So, I've seen kids that were one way, like kind of nerdy and into these certain things, and they kind of shift into a different crowd and start acting totally different. And I always get them is like, yo, you got to be. I had a kid. Well, I'll just real quick. I had a kid that he was having really good grades. His behavior was fantastic, and then those things started slipping. And he started hanging with he was kind of hanging out with the cool kids. Like the kids he was hanging with, they weren't bad kids, but they weren't taking school as serious as he was at one point. So for him, like to fit in with them, it's like they look forward to making the class laugh or doing some other stuff meant more to them than their grades. Whereas to him, it was always so. I took him and I spoke to him one day, and I was like, "You're about to move your seat," because he was sitting with this group. They're about to move your seat. I'm about to sit you with these guys. Like, Mr. Tariq, how you gonna move me over there? Like, I ain't no nerd. You gonna sit me with the nerds? I said, you just like them. He's like, no, man, what you mean? I said, every time they're playing like anime stuff or watching anime, he's like, you right there with them. Every time they doing stuff on the computer, you right there with them. Every time that they're doing something else that you consider nerdy, you're right there with them. And I was like, that's who you really are. When you are doing those type of things, that's when you are on track. When you're trying to do other things and trying to fit in with another crowd, that's when you fall off. So that was one way I would say like I was able to reel a person back in by just showing them, okay, this is what you really do. This is things you really don't be afraid of what you really like to do. Don't be afraid of what you're really into. You're one person. Nobody else is like you. Everybody else is taking up. So you're the only person that's like that. So your interests are your interests. The things you like are what you like. Embrace it. Don't run from it. And that's what I've tried to do and with the kids and other people that have kind of gone off of that path. You got to bring them back into to themselves.
Yeah. And you also made a good video on excuses as well, talking about, why we should avoid making excuses.
Mm.
So do you want to give us some tips on excuses?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, excuses. It takes away a lot of accountability, and it takes away a lot of hard work that you should be. Because people that make excuses also entitle a lot of things. So when you're making excuses for your failures, yeah, there's things that might happen that was out of your control. But what about the things that were in your control? What about things that you didn't do? Or what about the things that what part of the bargain that you didn't hold up? You can't blame everything on everybody else all the time. So the excuses just come in and make people lack accountability. And for me, I forgot to mention earlier, like I'm a basketball coach. I coach at Ball State College, assistant coach, AAU. Um, and I never liked the idea of excuses coming from players. Yeah, there's things that happen out there things that happen out there that you couldn't help. But the things that you could help, like, are how are you correcting them? How are you making mistakes? Like, when you lose something or you mess up, it's not always to be looked at as failure. This is how you learn. We all mess up. We mess up all the time. I mess up all the time. So it's like this is how you get experience. This is how you learn things. This is how you learn not to mess up the next. You don't hold yourself accountable, make excuses. You keep making this mistakes over and over and over again. And it's only so long you keep blaming everything else and everybody else.
Yeah. So talk to us about your faith. How important is your faith to these messages that you're putting out, everything that you do on a daily basis?
Yeah, faith is super, super important. Regardless of what you believe in or what your religion is, when you have faith in something, like faith is on, you have belief in the unseen. So, like, you don't have to see it to believe it. And even if you have confidence in yourself, you have a lot of faith because you can do things that you haven't. You have goals and things that you can reach that you haven't done yet, but you believe you can do it. You see that you can do it in your mind. So hoping to manifest it somehow. But you got to have faith to do that. You got to have there's got to be some belief somewhere that starts at, like, hey, I can accomplish what I want, or I can live how I want to live. I can do the things that I want to do. It starts with that belief, even though it's not here yet. It just starts with faith. So I think faith is major when it comes to people. And I think faith is major when it comes to accomplishing anything. You got to have it. Like, if you don't, then it's hard to progress. To me, like, I think it's extremely hard to go anywhere that you want to go without having some type of faith.
Very true, very true. And so talk to us about what you guys have going on for the non-for-profit. What do you guys have coming up?
Uh, so we've been in talks with a couple organizations. So we're working on getting a gym, even though we during the summertime we do a lot of college that I coach at, but during school, college students and gyms, taking up that stuff. So we're working on another gym. We're in talks of getting that. We'll probably finishing up talks this week, finalizing that. Also, before COVID hit, we had like a mentoring program that we was working in the schools with their trouble, and just once a week we was working with them just for an hour, and we had them, and it was like fantastic to me, the stuff that we were doing and able to get them to do, because it wasn't the run of the mill um, program that most of the kids get to see. And then once they figured that out, that, like, they different, then it was like the response we got and the production we got was much better. But then COVID hit and it kind of shut us down right when we was getting in our group. So we're hoping to gear that right back up, which I'm pretty sure that we can. School is starting up, so I'm pretty sure that we can. Those are like two major things that we're working on right now, and then we have other plans that we're planning deep into the future, but I don't want to disclose too many of those ideas yet. Yeah. So sometimes you just gotta work quietly and this when it's there.
For sure, for sure. So this is a little bit off topic, but what are you guys dealing with out there with the COVID situation? Like, how is it?
Um, obviously it's way better if we started, but you know, still it's still kind of rough still kind of rough out there. But we've been functioning cautiously, even if we're vaccinated or whatever. Um, we still been functioning with a lot of caution and still treating it like how serious it is. We still respect it. So we've been trying to be as safe as possible. And I think things are things are becoming a lot more controlled. So I think we're closer to getting normal than we're in the past months or year. So I think if we just keep doing what we've been doing as far as staying safe, I think we can finally get back to living regular life.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your knowledge with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
anytime,
oh,
anytime.
good stuff. Um, do you have like a quote or anything that you would like to share? Something that you kind of go by?
I have like a quote or thing. I don't know if I have like a quote that I just go by. Or like my father would always tell me, work is the life. So what he always meant by that is like people just think of working and just negative stuff. Like no, you always got to work. Even like work comes with happy moments. Because once you accomplish stuff, like it's time to celebrate. You know what I mean? So it's always keep working towards the next thing. Stop looking for uh, an end to it. It's not going. So we got to keep going with that.
Yep, that's what I call it. That's what I call it. Life work.
And yes, anything is life work.
Yeah. So, do you have anybody you want to shout out?
Uh, Shout out Salad Prep. Brother. Um, to everybody involved. G, Vel, you my guys, James. Those are my guys. Salad Prep. Um, my parents, my uncle, my aunt, like anybody that gets a chance to watch this video. I appreciate. They know I appreciate. I'm just trying to make it.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you so much again. I appreciate you, and we'll definitely be in touch.
Fair. Come on.
Oh, and the dog. What kind of dog is that?
I think they call it a woodle, mixed with two woodle. So he's only just that's my guy.
All right.
So
That's your guy.
yeah,
How old is he?
about 5 months, 5 6 months.
Oh, wow. He's just a little puppy.
Yeah. So
Oh, nice.
I'm glad I didn't know you were so close, like Toronto's. I mean, I would love to do some here.
Yeah, once things start to kind of open back up a little bit more. I mean, we're pretty open as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's still like, a bit of restrictions, but yeah, we definitely, I mean, if we can collaborate on something in the future, you just let me know what you guys have going on and we'll try to make something work, man. You're right there. Buffalo's not even far.
Here, like I would stuff in Toronto. That'd be great. So,
Yeah. Have you ever been to Toronto?
oh yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm that's what I would love to do. So I would love to do some work there or whatever. So you definitely keep it because Toronto's dope.
For sure, for sure. I mean, it is the greatest city, I'm not just saying it because we live here, but Toronto's the bomb?
It's yeah, big much so.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Tariq. I definitely would be in touch with you. And yeah, I appreciate you.
I
All right.
appreciate the opportunity. I take advantage. I appreciate it. So,
All right.
right.
All right. Well, you have yourself a great night, okay?
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, guys, look at that. I mean, there's so many great individuals out here that are doing fabulous things. And so it's always good. Like I'm telling you, I'm up in everybody's DM. Well, if I see you doing something and I'm like, this is interesting, like I just seen him on my feed and he does some really good, powerful videos on just not making excuses. Get after what you want, like just pushing yourself to do what you got to do. And you know how I'm always talking about, like, life work. There's a lot of stuff that we need to get done. There's a lot of things that we need to, push ourselves to do, constantly doing that, self improvement, self development, self discipline, all of that stuff. He's got some really great content on his page. So it's interesting to find out the different things that he's doing. Also, he's mentoring. He's a teacher. He teaches a whole bunch of different. He's taught, I guess, a whole bunch of different grades and stuff. And it's interesting to see that this is what he's about. You know what I mean? And in the background of what people are doing. And that's what it is on What's the 411. We like to get the history about how the business got started, why they do what they do, and then, where they're going. So you heard it first here on What's the 411. We may be doing a collab, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, we'll definitely talk about that and how we can maybe get a college or university out here to connect with them in Buffalo, maybe do something. I don't know. We'll try to make something happen, right? We just want this COVID situation to kind of kick it so we can do what we got to do out here and continue to make these connections, right? So, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me today on What's the 411. I appreciate you guys. Of course, you know what it is. Next Monday, we are going to have another fabulous guest who has another phenomenal story. And right here on What's the 411, we love to talk to different people because we believe that everyone's story matters, right? And everyone's story is just as interesting and as important as the next individual story. I love to hear all about it, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to share it with you guys. All right, so make sure if you know anybody that's interested in the mindset course, I am starting the mindset course on Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So you still have a bit of time to register. So make sure you click the link in the link tree and register for the course. I also have a couple of little things happening for September. So if you click the link in my link tree, you can always stay updated with what I have going on. And it's Labor Day weekend. Today is Labor Day, so I'm just about to step out and go watch some firecrackers right now. I hope you guys had a restful weekend. It's a long weekend, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. For anybody out there who have kids and the kids are starting school tomorrow, guys, you know what it is. Make sure your kids get to bed on time because tomorrow is a brand new day, right? School's that rush, rush, hustle, but lunches, make sure clothes are pressed, make sure everything is to the point so that they can get to school on time. And then, of course, as parents, you might just be sitting back and being like, yeah, we got through it because it was a long summer. Plus, we had kids at home from school because of the COVID. So I'm sure there's a lot of parents right now who are really, really just looking forward to getting their kids off to school. And I'm sure the kids, like, my kids are tired of being home. They're like, Mom, we love you, but you know what? We need to get back to school. Okay, so yeah, so I'm sure you guys are excited about them having that adventure and you also getting a well-needed break. So guys, that's it. That's it for this week. I will see you guys on Monday and just continue to support. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your weekend. All right, or enjoy your week. Enjoy your week. Take